Now that you decided to go in the lawn care business, what kind of equipment, what kind of capital, what are you going to need to get started? All right, well, a truck and a trailer is a good place. It's not a total necessity to have a truck and a trailer. I've seen people start with a sedan or, a regular car, put it in their trunk. Guys out here with minivans, I mean, trust me, it does happen. Ideally, a pickup truck would be, at least a pickup truck would be perfect. You can put a push mower in it. I've seen guys put bigger mowers in the bed with ramps and stuff. I mean, sometimes you got to get a little creative. Ideally, I had a pickup truck from before I even thought about doing this. I also had a 6x12 Triple Crown open utility trailer, which was, I still use both of them to this day. So it's definitely helpful. When I started, I bought as far as mowers, I bought a Gravely Zero Turn. It's a homeowner grade mower. It's meant to mow 1, 2, 3 hours a week. I've had it a little over 2 years, and it's over 300 hours on it. So it's been used a lot more. It works. I spent about $3,000 on it. You could go this route. If I was looking to do it over again, I probably would buy a good used mower, a commercial grade mower. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace, $3,000 to $4,000. You can get a lot of mower for that price. I would highly recommend doing that opposed to buying a homeowner model. Not that it didn't work. I'd be lying to you if it didn't work. It's just what I'm finding now is when you start getting into 300 hours, a lot of homeowner mowers, they say when they start getting over 500 hours, I mean they've reached their peak. They're just not made for the same thing that we do. So I'm going through spindles, pulleys, belts, a lot quicker than I would with a commercial mower. And time is money. When I got to sit in between yards, changing belts, and if I don't have the right part, I got to run to the mower store or run home. And where a commercial mower, it's going to keep you on the lawn mowing lawns more, and that's why we're here. That's, fixing a mower doesn't generate income, mowing does. So I would get doing over, that was one thing I did, and that's what I'm going to end up doing this off season if we have an off season in Florida. We get a couple months, we don't really mow that much here down in Central Florida. So I'm going to be looking for depending on how much finances, it's still a little early to tell how much me and my wife want to spend. We're probably going to get, I'm going to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a good used zero turn mower, or possibly just go and buy a new one. At that point, you're talking about a couple $1,000 difference. Would it be better off buying a brand new one without all the bells and whistles, or something really nice that's slightly used? We'll see about that. I also have a Skag WalkBehind mower that I bought used. It is a belt drive. Belt drives are very difficult for the operator. They can almost be a little dangerous sometimes. If you're riding along a fence line, they don't really stop. If the blade, especially if the blades aren't engaged, there's no safety. Mine will just roll down the road. So if the blades are engaged, it will stop, but it could go another 5 feet before it stops. And I've caught my hands in between fences. It's got those pistol grips, and scraped up my knuckles just because I didn't want to let the machine loose. But it's also saved my tail a lot when my other mower has been down for whatever reason. It's a 36-inch, so it gets into gates. When my wife helps me, having 2 big mowers makes us so much more efficient. So I paid $1,000 for it. I mean, you could find these things on Marketplace for even less than that, and it's, like I said, they're not ideal. They're a little more difficult to use. They're a little more slower, but it's a legitimate commercial mower. It cuts fantastic, and they're cheap. So Toro makes them, Skag, John Deere, Gravely, basically everybody makes them. And if you can get a hydro one, and when I say hydro, for you don't know, that's a hydrostatic transmission, which is like what a zero-turn mower has, or a stand-on. It uses fluid to actually spin the wheel. So each wheel has a transmission to go forward or backwards, and then hence to get the zero turn. So a hydro WalkBehind essentially works like a zero turn, where a spring one, it's using gears and belts to do. Belt drive. It's using gears and belts to do that. All right. The next thing I have down here is getting a trimmer. I think you should get a dedicated trimmer. Some people will use a combi or PAS system as a trimmer. You can, but a trimmer, even if you do use a combi or PAS system, which I recommend you do in the beginning, a dedicated trimmer is a good thing. I use an FS70 by Steel. It's light. 28 cc's, got plenty of power for what I want to use, for what I want to do with my maintained yards. They're the yards I go to every week, every other week, trimming them all the time, so there's not a whole lot to cut down. It's I prefer the machine to be lighter, toting it around on 99-degree days and 100% humidity than having a little extra power. The Echo SRM 225 is like 219, and I heard it's on par with that. It's a light, just good machine for maintenance. All right, now the next one is an edger, and this is where I recommend getting a steel combi or an Echo PAS system. And what these systems are is they're multi-attachments. It's like the weed eater engine, the trigger and everything, and then you unscrew it and you can put in different attachments. I use mine set up 90% of the time as my edger. So I have my edger, my weed eaters, and then what I could do is I could take the edger attachment off. I have my pole saw, hedge trimmer, I have a blower attachment for it, which I use sometimes for hedge work and stuff. I can blow out underneath the bushes. It makes it look really nice. So I just think I use my combi of PAS as a stick edger. If you wanted to use it as a weed eater too, I just don't like sitting there changing attachments all the time. To be honest with you, as I'm getting established now, I want to get away from the combi and just buy individual tools. And you'll probably want that too. It just makes it easier. But in the beginning, you save a lot of money. You're able to get a lot of different tools for the for cheaper than you would have to go out and buy all these. So again, it's a steel combi or the Echo PAS system. Next is a blower, and this is something I did wrong. I went out and bought the BR 450 steel blower, which has since been stolen from me, which sucks. Lock your stuff up. They got me once, they won't get me again. All right, the 450 is like the smallest. I think there might be one underneath it, but it's like the smallest steel backpack blower. So it didn't have a whole lot more power than a handheld blower. So what I suggest you do is go get a handheld blower. $150, you get a steel or an Echo, just one of the handheld ones, and you'll use that forever until it quits working on you. And you could do sidewalks and for your routine maintenance properties, probably never need nothing more than that. Then after you get established, then go out and get yourself the 9010 Echo or the BR 800, a big boy. So if you got to do leaves and stuff like that, because if I'm going to put a big backpack blower on and all this stuff, I want it to move whatever I need it to move, all right? And otherwise, I'll just carry the little blower. That's just my 2 cents. If you disagree or anything, shoot down in the comments. Next is, you're probably going to want to be insured, all right? You put a rock through somebody's window, it's going to ruin your day really quick. And what I find is insurance legitimizes you when you're small. And insurance, general liability insurance for landscaping is not very expensive. I pay about $50 a month now. My first policy was about $35 a month. It was only about $300 worth of coverage. But at the time, that's all I thought I needed. When I started expanding, I realized it wasn't that much money to go up to $1 million. So that's what I did. But talk to Next Insurance online. I use Hiscox. They are fantastic. Not paying me nothing, but they've been awesome with me. And it just legitimizes you, and it covers your ass. Pardon the language. You put a rock through somebody's car or something, and you don't have the money to pay for it. An insurance policy is good, and my policy's got 0 deductible too. And when you start getting into commercial companies and stuff, you need insurance to work for them. If you're ever going to spray any chemicals or anything, you need insurance for that as well. Next would be state licenses and state and local licenses. With Florida, I just have to register a fictitious name with Sunbiz. That's our state website. $50 every 5 years. It just says that me, Kevin, is doing business as South Marion Property Professionals. I require no other licenses for local municipalities. And what you need to do is go to the county that you plan on working in. And if there's any cities in that county, you need to go talk to them too and find out what, I grew up in New York, and up there you need a permit or a license to do it. Everywhere you work. To dump trash, you need a permit. So down here it's a little bit different. It's much easier, much more business friendly, which I think is a good thing, because people should be able to start their own business, and that's what we're trying to do here. So I hope this helped. I really, I hope you guys can do me a favor, like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. Again, I'm talking about a lot of lawn care, but we're gonna have videos talking about, I am a recovering alcoholic, and we're gonna talk about my transition from being somebody who was active alcoholism for pretty much the past 20 years of my life. No, I wasn't the bum on the street, but I could have been that guy very, very, very quickly. So how I came from that, found a little spirituality, faith, and got to work on my business here, and it's, I've been sober almost a year now, and I'm down 100 pounds, and I got money in my pocket. Life is good, so if you're kind of struggling out there, that's what we're here for. I'm trying to create a community where people, I'm a firm believer that you cannot, whether it's any kind of addiction, drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, whatever, you get addicted to anything, I believe. But I think you need a support group of people that truly understand it, because the average person doesn't. So please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do. My name's Kevin. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Y'all have a blessed day, and try to be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today, all right? That's my goal every day. And have a wonderful day. Bye.